Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, my friends, it is Sunday. Still having some internet issues. But it's very, very strange. So it may drop in and out as we go here. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It seems to be kind of sort of recovering on its own a little bit without me intervening, but it's definitely going out entirely and then like a minute or two later coming back. So I don't know what's going on. I am out of explanations for that. But anyway, my friends, we are back. So, and doing some more coding today, rather than some games. So that is what we're up to. So where we left off is, we actually had some, the layout looking real good. Ooh, excuse me, for, one of the layouts is starting to look really good. There's still some more functionality I want to add to it, like swapping in and out videos, and I think I want to revisit the in the process of swapping things out, I'm thinking I'm going to revisit how we do the slots on the side there, because I think I'm going to need them to be, like right now it kind of just fills them out on its own, but I think we're going to need them to be like legitimate slots that, you know, are assigned by JavaScript as you swap things in and out, like give them actual classes, which I don't think is a big deal. It's just the way it's coded right now, it wouldn't necessarily work, but it will, you know, if it's, you know, when you have visible things and whatnot. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm going to look at. Off camera yesterday, I worked a little bit on getting the Janus backend working locally, with minor success. I was able to get it to transmit like a black screen from OBS, and I think some audio, but not the video. There was some kind of error happening in the Janus stuff that was causing problems. I've been looking up that error message, and it seems like it has something to do with the version of the software that I'm using, version of a particular library that I'm using, and OpenSSL or something. So I tried compiling a newer version. It didn't seem to work, and I'll just have to try to mess with it a little bit more. But otherwise, like the back end, everything was responding. The live notifications were going off, and all that stuff. So all that's good. It's just there's some weirdness when it tries to connect to the back end that it's having. And I don't know if it's a lot of that's just due to the fact that I'm trying to do it as non-SSL, just do it as straight HTTP. But I don't know. It's very, very strange. Anyway. That's something I can continue to work on, and hopefully at some point we'll be able to actually see some videos like on here and see what kind of performance we get out of them, at least locally. You know, not to mention what it's going to look like over the internet and things. So that said, I want to do some of the additional changes here for this layout. I want to be able to have, first of all, a couple things. One is I want there to be a rollover on all these videos that shows the channel, the name of the channel. So as you roll over them, you can see, oh, this is what channel I'm looking at. Kind of like a lower thirds kind of thing. And I want to show you, additional channels here that the videos aren't playing for, and I want to be able to have a swap button. So when you roll over those, you can hit swap there, and then when you roll over another one of these, you hit the swap button, and it would, basically swap positions. This one would come out and be a little icon, and that icon would become the video playing in this section, which is why I think we'll have these sections as kind of like, there'll probably be just a class here that says like, section 1, section 2, section 3 or whatever, and then JavaScript will just assign these out, and then when we first load up the page, we'll just, they'll just get those designations, I guess, randomly. I guess I'll have to put, I probably should put some kind of randomness in there, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know if it matters all that much, but yeah, something to that effect. So be some JavaScript maybe that kicks off and puts the correct class names on there, so that these things flush out properly. Now the weird thing there is going to be, I guess I put all 6 video tags on the page. It's just 2 of them will be hidden, or will display none, which, and muted, obviously. So I don't know what. We'll have to see what kind of performance that does, I guess, because then you would just kind of flop them around and say, okay, this is now display visible, and then have it playing. And I say that because there could be a... Oh, hey, Trixelcat. Welcome. I say that because there could be a... if the video is playing in the background, there might be a way to like have it, you know, maybe put a volume control on the ones that are hidden and have you be able to like listen to those without actually having them playing on screen. So I don't know whether or not that's a big issue, something needed or not is another story. But right now, let's see if I can get some of that situated with the CSS that we've written. Oh, excuse me. The other thing is, am I trying to add multi-stream support for collab streams? Yes. So I am working on co-streaming right now. So essentially, you and up to 6 others can join a co-stream, choose a layout, and users who come to your page will be able to see the streams in whatever layout you've chosen, and hopefully it'll all work. That's the thing. That's the thing right now. Like right now, I got it laid out properly, the CSS, but performance-wise, I don't know what it's going to look like when we try to get 6 videos playing at once in a browser. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen locally, and I don't know what's going to. I especially don't know what's going to happen over the internet. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm going for. And then you'll have like volume controls for all of them. You can, you know, full screen one of them if you want to, that kind of thing. And then I'm using CSS to lay these out, which means that if everything goes well, the streamers will be able to upload their own CSS and lay it out the way that they want to, create their own layouts, how they want their videos to look and all that stuff. So hopefully, if all that works out, that would be great. But that's what I'm striving towards. So we'll see. I don't think, like, I know co-streaming is done on a lot of other sites. I don't think they do it as separate videos. I have a feeling it's all one video that's kind of, they're doing something in the back end. So I'm worried as to whether or not this is even possible, right? Like I'm worried that the browser's just going to be like, nope, crash, you know? Make the alt videos auto-mute themselves on load. Oh yeah. I actually already have that in place. So, the mainstream will use whatever your saved volume is, and the other ones are muted. It doesn't look that way right now because it hasn't actually loaded anything yet. I don't have the back end working locally that actually has the streaming stuff. I've been working on that kind of off stream to try to get that working, with limited success. But I need to get that working to really give it a good test. But right now, on the offline screens here, you know, you can't see it, but we do load up your volume that you've saved for the one. The weird thing, what I'm going to have to do is make a change so that it'll save the volumes for all of them. So if you mute one, if you just change it so that, you know, maybe the volume is low on one and louder on another one, that actually saves all of them. And remembers all of them, so I have to make that. I have to make that alteration too, because we've never had this before. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, looking at the code, where was I at? So here's our CSS. Now, one thing I want to do is I kind of just like slap this together in this folder so I can get it just working. But what I do want to do is I want to add this to the config and actually read the locations of the internal layout CSS files from the config, so that we don't have it hard-coded anywhere, or we don't have to follow some kind of pattern or anything like that. So I think what it's going to be is we got stacked right, type max 4. Actually, I'm going to make that max 6 people. And I'm going to say layouts, and I guess I'll just name the CSS file. So it'd be I'm going to change the name of this too, so it's not so out in the blue here. So stacked right SCSS. So it would be, we'll call it co-stream layout stacked right. Most other sites have all the videos unmuted, so it's a cacophony of audio. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can. And one of the things I'm hoping for is, I don't know if it's gonna, one of these days, once I actually get co-streaming out and I get the, phase 2 of the co-streaming, which will be the chat, having a single chat and all that stuff. Once all that's in the bag and it's working, I'm hoping to maybe work on a audio only ingest, so that if you have like a competition or something going on and you have just, one participant, say you have 2 competitors, and you've got one participant who's just doing commentary, that they could just like do their commentary as an audio only stream, and then you could, you'll have the volume control for that and everything else, if they wanted to do it that way. So, because I think that'd be really cool, because that'd be kind of like harken back to the old days of like shoutcasting and stuff like that. So we'll see. Big plans, long term, long term. Is what it comes down to on those. So layouts, you have to give a space there. Layout would be co-stream layout stacked left SS. Okay. And host only, well, it would just be nil. Okay. Oh yeah. No, and I agree with you. They can just have a static image, but I think it would be even nicer if they didn't even have to do that. If they just had to, like, because you incur still the upload capacity of needing to keep uploading that still image and whatnot, which isn't that bad generally speaking. But it would be nice if you could just upload audio straight away, just plain audio, and use your bandwidth for like maybe a high quality audio or something, and have that happen. And then that way also, like in the co-streaming stuff, it could be, you don't have to, because I'm providing a way, I'm going to try to provide a way to swap, what's visible for the user, so they can like say, I want to see this thing now, swap that into this position on the screen. When you have just a commentary only track, you wouldn't have to, there would be no, you could remove the swap key from it, say, because it would just be audio, and so you could do it that way. But yeah, I mean, it's achievable even now as it stands. But I think it would still be it still might be a nice thing. But again, it's not for any time soon. There's a lot of things we still have to do before we get to that point. Not just with co-streaming, but with the site in general, I think. So, okay, so I have a layout now on here, which tells you CSS. I'm going to change the name of this guy. Rename would be co-stream layout next, right? And then what's good with that is that should still be being pulled in. Now ultimately be CSS, and then on the stream itself, I just have to pull that in. Stack image is far less variable bit rate instead of constant bit rate, so OBS manages the outflow. Yeah. Tell the ingest server to use X amount of previous frame for a video portion. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. You know, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I see that too, even with Glimesh, where like on my startup screen, it'll reduce the bit rate. Like I'm doing constant bit rate, but even on Glimesh, it'll reduce the bit rate down to like 1200 on the startup screen, because there's not that much difference from one, keyframe to the next. That'll save me some headache, yeah. No, that kind of like and I appreciate it, but the ingest thing is kind of a nice to have. It's not something that I'm going to do for the before co-streaming goes out there. Phase 1 is pretty much get co-streaming out there, get it working, have the ability to do a custom layout, have some built-in layouts as well, and then pretty much get it out there and see if it works for people, because I'm not going to really know. There's only so much I can do locally to see if it's going to perform, and really it's just you got to kind of throw it out there on the internet and see how it happens, and see if it works or not. And then phase 2 is basically fix anything that breaks from phase 1, and then look at the chat and give streamers the ability to combine their chats when they're in the co-streaming mode, so you can have theoretically one big chat if you want to, depending on if they want to. So that'll be that kind of thing, and then any feedback as well. And then a third phase will just be, polishing whatever else, any new additional feedback and all that stuff on it. But hopefully it'll be, I mean, I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I'm hoping this works. But I've never done anything like it, so I have no idea if this is going to actually succeed. Let's put it that way. It may get this out there and it may just not perform well. It may crash people's browsers. I don't know. And unfortunately, I can't. There's only so much I can test before I do that. So, come to that. what am I looking for? I am looking for... You're just waiting for VODs, mainly? I don't know if we're... I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we'll do VODs. I don't think we want to do VODs, honestly. I think we'll more want to do clips, and I think we'll more want to do some form of time shifting. So being able to